Hey Kings, what's poppin'? It's me, Teams of Regret. Today we are checking out this short video by Adam Kono, whatever his name is, essentially doomsaying about how Xbox is going to absolutely annihilate the gaming industry as we know it. Call it hyperbole or whatever, but that's essentially what his video boils down to. Well, I say video, but I suppose it's more accurate to say it's a video compilation-ish? I mean, it looks like a video compilation. I have no clue how TikTok works and I'm not going to pretend I do. All you need to know is that this video is very compact and has a lot, and I mean a lot, of really bad takes. So let's not dawdle around and get right into the video, shall we?
So I've been thinking a lot about how Microsoft just bought Activision, one of the world's largest video game publishers, and I think that news is a lot more frightening than most people realize.
Fear-mongering already? Jeez Louise, ain't that quick.
Like, I see people worrying, oh, what if they make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive? But that's not the issue. The issue is that Microsoft can use Activision to undercut the rest of the entire video game industry and build a monopoly.
Well, if we're going to be talking about corpos cucking the competition through exclusivity, then we're going to have to turn the mirror and take a good look at Sony for a bit. Sony has been furiously trying to kill Xbox for the past, 20 years of its existence? Sony has been making exclusivity deals left, right, and center, trying to strangle Xbox out of existence. Now, you might ask, how a few games becoming exclusive is going to smother Xbox, and it's really quite simple once you think about it. There are certain games in the market that are leaders in their respective genres. Final Fantasy is a leader in the JRPG scene, Street Fighter with fighting games, Call of Duty with first-person shooters, so on and so forth. So well, now if someone asks why don't JRPG games sell on Xbox, well, you know the answer. It's because Sony gatekept all the big JRPGs and that makes the smaller ones hesitate to release on Xbox, killing any chance at a really growing Xbox JRPG scene. Same goes for first-person shooters. If Call of Duty content is kept exclusive on PlayStation up until the next one gets released the following year, FPS players are going to naturally gravitate towards PlayStation. This strategy works, and it damn well nearly caused Microsoft to pull out of the gaming scene entirely. Where was the outrage then? The big corp you hate becoming a monopoly is not worse than the big corp you like becoming a monopoly. At the end of the day, it's still big corps getting free rein to fuck over the consumer with little repercussion.
See, most publishers sell their games for $60 or $70, which they have to do because the games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and years of effort.
I mean, free-to-play games exist, cheaper indie titles exist, expansion packs, DLCs, and microtransactions to spread out the overall cost to the consumers exist, but do go on.
But Microsoft has recently disrupted that strategy by introducing a service called Game Pass, where you can get hundreds of games for just $9.99 a month.
Sounds like to me that Microsoft identified a gap in the market and was able to fill it. Why is this an issue? It's business. Given the same opportunity, Sony would have done the same thing.
And now they're buying up game publishers so they can put their games on the service.
Well, Sony have also been buying out deals with other devs to keep games only on their platform too. So if Sony is allowed to do it, why can't Microsoft?
Microsoft has bought so many game studios that they now own Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, Halo, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls Fallout, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Psychonauts, Guitar Hero, Dishonored, Minecraft, Gears of War, Tony Hawk, and Zork. Remember Zork?
Damn, man, are you trying to make a case against or in support of Xbox? That's some insane value you're getting for $10 a month, not yet counting all the third-party games on the service. Also, quick side note, out of all the games he listed, Halo and Gears have always been owned by Xbox. Warcraft and StarCraft have only been on PC, so this doesn't really matter when it comes to console competition. And any Activision Blizzard game Microsoft doesn't even own yet. The deal is still being processed and it's projected to finish by mid-2023, over a year from now.
It doesn't matter if Call of Duty is also available on PlayStation. If you can get it for $9.99 instead of $70 and get hundreds of other games too, that's what you're going to do. The deal is just too good to pass up.
Yeah, it's great value proposition. If Sony or Nintendo doesn't want to get left behind, they're going to have to figure out a way to get a leg up when it comes to value. The same way Xbox had to create Game Pass to get a leg up when they were trailing far behind Sony and Nintendo for years.
Now I can hear what you're going to say next. You're saying Sony and Nintendo just need to make their own Game Pass competitors and make their own games, $9.99 a month.
I mean, Sony already has a Game Pass-like service, PS Now. It's just not good. So not good, in fact, that Sony had to hype up their Spartacus project, which is essentially overhauling the service. Besides, a Game Pass-like service isn't the only option. They could also think outside the box and figure out a new value proposition to keep their lead against Xbox, the same way Xbox had to think outside of the box to make Game Pass to catch up.
Here's the problem. I don't think they can do that. I think Microsoft is taking a massive loss on Game Pass, and they're able to do that because they are literally 10 times bigger than Sony and Nintendo combined.
So you think Microsoft is taking a massive loss when it comes to running Game Pass, but just thinking about something doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I think about making shitloads of money and getting my life together all the time, but that doesn't mean it's automatically gonna happen. The thing people seem to be missing a lot of the time when they're discussing Game Pass is the domino effect it causes on other parts of the platform. Game Pass increases player engagement on the platform. Increased engagement means players are more likely to spend money due to time investment. Players are more comfortable spending money on games that they've spent a lot of time playing, or on games they expect to spend a lot of time playing. Because people are spending more time on their Xboxes thanks to Game Pass, they're more likely to buy games on their Xbox. That's how it works. Game Pass might not be making killer profits in of itself, but they're boosting profits everywhere else. All of this meaning to say that Sony and Nintendo, who have much bigger chunks of the gaming market share compared to Xbox, meaning to say that they can draw in more subscribers, can also pull it off if they're willing to take the initial hit when it comes to setting up and launching the service. You gotta spend money to make money after all. Can't make money out of thin air. Even scams require investment of effort to pull off.
Nintendo makes video games and playing cards. Sony makes video games and headphones. Microsoft makes video games, the operating system that every computer in the world runs on, and the web services that every website in the world run on. They are one of the biggest companies in the world, and that means that they can use their massive cash reserves to subsidize their video game service forever.
Not forever, no. Microsoft literally considered pulling out of gaming entirely after the whole Xbox One debacle. It's an absolute miracle that they're even still around. Phil Spencer and his crew are literal miracle workers with how they kept Xbox from dying out entirely. Even though I'm not going to fall on my knees and worship the guy, I completely understand why Phil has a cult following.
It's the Amazon strategy. They can take a loss on every single video game they sell through Game Pass forever until they have wiped out the competition, and Sony and Nintendo cannot do shit about it.
I mean, they could if they wanted to, but the real question to ask is, why would they? Microsoft is as big as it is not just because they sell a lot of software to consumers, but because they do a lot of business with other businesses. In fact, I'd argue that Microsoft makes more money from business-to-business deals than from business-to-consumer deals. One of Microsoft's biggest business partners is, in fact, Sony. Sony is literally renting servers from Microsoft to run PlayStation Now and their cloud services. If Sony dies out, that's a major loss on Microsoft's end. Microsoft makes more money with Sony still around. They have very little reason to want to kill Sony.
Actually, I should say I think Nintendo will be fine, because Nintendo has Mario and Zelda, and everyone loves Mario and Zelda, but I think Sony is fucked.
So Nintendo has popular games and they're gonna be fine because of it, but Sony's screwed for some reason? Where's the logic here? Sony has made some of the hottest games in the past few years. I may not be the biggest fans of them, but even I can't deny that most of the games they made were flying off the shelves.
Like, Sony can't afford to make the new God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn game just $10. They need those games to be $70 for them to make a profit that year.
And he's absolutely certain about this? Well, I am absolutely certain that people would be subscribing to whatever subscription service Sony has on hand in droves if God of War or Horizon were to be on said subscription services day and date. And as we've already established, a Game Pass-like service increases revenue on other parts of the platform. Sony makes most of their money from third-party sales on their store and from PlayStation Plus. That's a net boon in the long run. But even then, the dude acts like once a game releases day one on the service, nobody else will ever want to buy the game ever. That is blatantly untrue. Forza Horizon 5 sold 2 million copies at launch even though it was coming day one to Game Pass. Sea of Thieves, Age of Empires, and Forza Horizons 4 and 5 still dominated Steam sales charts every now and again. There are still people who would rather buy the games outright than have them through a subscription service.
Whereas Microsoft is able to lose money indefinitely, so indefinitely that they can sell the damn console and Game Pass for just $25 a month.
Honestly, this bit tells me more than anything else that Adam doesn't really understand the games industry as he pretends to. Both sides are selling consoles at a loss. I don't know where he's trying to get at with this. Also, Xbox has to be willing to take the loss this generation if they want to stay in the game. They lost a lot of fucking ground last generation with the absolutely atrocious Xbox One, and unless they're willing to go all in, they're never going to gain that ground back. This is just normal business tactics. I really don't get why he's making such a big deal out of it.
Now that's an amazing deal, but it's one of those deals that we might later say, ooh, that deal was a little bit too good to be true, because it could mean that Microsoft wipes out all the competition in the video game space and then is able to jack the prices up on us and also make games that are a lot worse. And let's not forget that all this consolidation naturally is going to lead to layoffs and worse conditions for workers.
We've already established that Microsoft will benefit more from keeping Sony alive, so there's no point in repeating that. But I'd like to point out that Microsoft, with their infinite money, still couldn't drive the PlayStation out of the market for 3 console generations straight. Hell, they nearly died out along the way. With the PS5 looking to be another strong generation for Sony, what makes anyone think Xbox is going to be killing Sony anytime soon? Also, I'm sorry, what conditions could be worse than the conditions in Activision Blizzard? Working conditions there are already abysmal. So abysmal, in fact, that when the purchase deal was announced, Activision Blizzard staff were literally rejoicing and were genuinely looking forward to it.
Microsoft isn't trying to be the Netflix of games, they're trying to be the Amazon of games. They want to use their massive cash advantage to undercut and dominate the entire game industry. That is bad for video game makers and video game players, and as someone who loves video games, I'm worried.
That's not an exclusive thing to Microsoft though. Literally every company in existence wants to dominate the market they do business on. Sony most definitely does, with how hard they've been trying to get rid of all competition since the days Sega still made consoles. You say you love gaming and that you're worried about the way the industry is going. So again, I have to ask, where was this concern when Xbox was dying out a few years ago? Was this video made out of genuine concern over industry consolidation, or was it made because you don't like Xbox and you want Sony to stay top dog? If it was genuine concern, he'd be concerned about both sides trying to strangle the other out of the industry and not just when one side does it. Honestly, this video just strikes me as extremely patronizing and disingenuous. It feels like Adam here is trying to flex his supposed intelligence to the supposedly unintelligent gaming crowd. He says he's been thinking a lot about the Activision Blizzard purchase and how people aren't seeing the full picture, how they should be more afraid of it. Then he spouts off a bunch of postulations and theories in rapid-fire pace, leaving people little time to process, with a Ben Shapiro-style high-pitched voice to make himself appear like the nerdy thinking type. Following this, he cites some broad examples that most people probably won't understand to appear like his argument has a strong base. He has this air of superiority around him and he acts like he's better than everyone else. Here's a bit of newsflash for you, Adam. Having a massive fucking forehead that's wide enough to land a jumbo jet on doesn't automatically mean you're bursting with intelligence. Jeez. Anyways, I'm just about done with this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video if you feel like it. This has been Cheems of Regret, wishing you all good luck and Godspeed. Signing out.